Nena so fàttali ko woon suñu toogaay bu mujjee bi fii lu ñu nekkoon di waxtaan fii mooy lu dem si loo xam ne wargal bi nga xam ne am nga ko si mbiri finance si council.
Now, before we proceed on that,
nena waaye balaa ñu
before we proceed with that,
nena waaye balaa ñu continuer si loolu.
Do you recall giving a statement to the investigators?
Nena ndax mun nga fàttali ko ne musu nga jox statement investigators yi.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, when we asked you whether you have any authority for expenditure, your answer was that as the mayors, you don't have any powers in relation to that. Am I correct?
Nena su fàttali de bu ñu la laajte woon lu ñu la waxoon li pour mbiri doole bi nga xam ne wala warugal bi nga xam ne am nga ko pour mbiri dépense. Nena waaye yow li nga waxoon mooy nga ne amuloo fa doole.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, why did you say that?
Nena lu tax nga wax loolu.
Because CEO bi moom mooy di authority ki nga xam ne moo am doole pour loolu.
Yes, because the CEO is the person who have the authority for that matters.
Now, when you say that, what do you mean?
Nena so waxee loolu loo mën si loolu.
moom mooy di spending authority.
He is the spending authority.
Now, does that mean he has the absolute authority for expenditure?
Nena xanaa loolu dafa wane ne moom am na doole pour affaire dépense wala am na wargal pour loolu.
Absolute. As in, mom kena.
Nena moom kenn am na doole boobu wala wargal boobu pour def loolu.
mënuma wax ndax moom keena moo am the absolute authority or not waaye xam naa ne moom mooy di spending authority.
Well, I can't say that he alone or he have the absolute authority, but I know, as I said, he got the authority.
Now, in council, as the mayors,
Nena come yow yaay mayores council.
what is your role?
Nena yow lan mooy sa rôle wala sa wargal foofu.
In the governance structure of the area council?
So demee si government structure si area council bi.
Man oversight authority la am.
I have the oversight authority.
And how do you understand that?
Nena yow loolu noo ko xamee.
mooy pour supervise li nga xam ne moom la gaay di def.
For me, that is to supervise whatever they do or they go through.
And how do you do this?
Nena naka nga ko dee def.
mooy suñ ma waxee li nga xam ne moom la gaay bëgg a def.
That is when I am informed of what they want to do.
ma yóbbu ko si suma council.
Then I take that to council.
mu ñëwaat back to the CEO for implementation.
Then it will come back to the CEO for the implementation.
And what does this cover? If they tell you what they want to do, what is the scope of that? What does it cover?
Nena lolu lan la cover wala lan la umba ñoom suñu la waxee wala suñu nga xam ne am na loo xam ne am na gëstu bi nga xam ne bëgg nañ ko def.
li nga xam ne.
am na gëstu bi nga xam ne bëgg nañ ko def.
bari na.
It's many.
mooy services for example.
For instance, services.
benn la ci loolu.
Yes, that is one part of it.
beneen bi tamit affaire staffs for example.
And another thing is the staffs.
su fekkee ne CEO gis na loo xam ne indi na ko ci man.
If at all the CEO have observed something and bring it before me,
mun naa ko yóbbu council.
I can be able to take that to council.
ñu waxtaan si.
Then we discuss about that.
ñu delloowaat ko ci moom.
And bring it back to him.
So you only deal with matters that is brought to you by the chief executive officer.
Nena kon dafa mel ni yow mata si nga xam ne yooyu nga dee diilal mooy yoo xam ne dañ la ko isi yi nga xam ne jógee si executive.
waaw because lu ma indi lu dul ma koo xam.
Yes, because whatever is not brought to me, I will not be able to know.
So if the CEO did not bring anything to you for discussion, you would not know.
Nena kon CEO su fekkee ne isi dara wala wut la dara si mbir li nga xam ne loolu ngeen war a waxtaan kon daf daa mel ni yow doo mun a yëg wala doo xam lu yow.
xanaa su fekkee ne am na loo xam ne dégg naa ko ci biti.
Unless if it is something that I had it outside.
mun naa ko engage.
Yes, I can be able to engage.
Now, how do you receive communications from the CEO? Do you have periodical meetings, daily meetings, weekly meetings, monthly meetings? How do you structure your relationship with the chief executive to be able to get information from this?
Nena kon sa digante ak CEO bi wala executive bi naka ngeen def wala yow sa bopp naka ngeen def be mëna am xibaar ci ñoom nda da ngeen am meeting waxtu bu nekk wala bés bu nekk wala semaine bu nekk.
Many times su fekkee ne lii gannaaw dara mën naa ko almost staff on bi.
Many times when I heard of something I do call him or I can be able to call him and his staffs.
Moom tamit su fekkee ne am na lu ma bëgg a wax mu ñëw waxtaan ko man.
And he too, if he intend to discuss something with me, he can come. He do come and we discuss.
So dinañ dee engage almost on daily basis now.
That is how we do engage ourselves during daily basis.
Are these minuted? Do you have minutes of some of these engagements?
Most of the time, meeting they am minutes.
Most of the meetings does not have minutes.
When your meeting they am monthly meeting you see.
But for them, they are monthly meetings.
They are minutes.
They do have minutes.
For who?
As
in them, who do you?
Management.
The management.
Are you part of the management?
No,
I never involve or I never attend their meetings.
Is there any reason?
I don't know. CEO below la advice.
That is how the CEO advised. And I think that is how what I inherited there.
We are talking about the senior management meeting, SMT.
Wow.
Then senior management meetings.
Wow.
Yes.
And so the CEO advised that you should not be part of the senior management meeting.
Then upon CEO senior meetings.
Wow, many times like the one I put
many times I intended to join the meeting or
why the advice meeting after you
but he always advised me, let me leave them to do their meeting, then later I'll be informed.
And what is the reason that he will give you as to why you should not be present in those meetings?
Then lan mo tax mom ci bopam mu daldi wax ne yow warlo di fekke ci sen meeting yoy.
Am na many times sama dem ne mom mo wara report ci man. Management bi dañu report ci mom mo report ci man. Because
the management do report to him and he do report to me.
Did he back that up by any authority, either the local government act or any other regulation that may have stated that?
Ne na ka dom bobu wala waxam bobu da amna fum ko bantu bi nga xamne ci acte bi
musut ma won lol de way man tam musuma gis ci local government act bi fu waxe ne mayor bi dafa wara nek ci management meeting.
You have never told me that, and I too have never seen that in the local government act, that a mayor should not be present at the meeting.
Did you also see where it has also stated that the mayor should not be part of the meetings of the SMT?
Nena nda gis nga fofu tamit ci acte bi fu mu wone wala fu mu wax ne mayor warta fekk meeting bi.
They did.
No.
So why would you choose one and leave the other?
Nena kon lu tax atana bena bay benen.
Because Momo is my chief advisor.
May I hear you? May I hear you?
Please repeat that.
Madam Mayor, can you please speak up a bit louder?
Momo is my chief advisor.
He is my chief advisor.
Yes, but you make decisions.
Nena wa yaw ya de make decisions.
Man might make decisions.
Yes, as the mayor.
Nena wa mayor is.
I trust him.
Yes, whatever he told me, I do proceed as how he advised me to do so.
Does he bring every minute of meetings that the SMT will hold every month, as the case may be, to you?
Nenda mom si bopam daf la de si minute si ngam ne dañ ko def meeting bu nekk bi ngam ne def nañ ko wer bu nekk si yow.
Foguma ko.
I don't think so.
Do you know why?
Nena ba xam nga lutax?
How ma?
No. Then it means that his advice would not have been proper, because like you said, he said he will have to conduct the meetings and then report to you. If he does not now report to you, will that not be ineffective?
Nena kon lool soko sété dafa nek lo xamné waratu di andut ak yoon parce que mom luma la wax moy so féké sa way ñom suñu défé sen meeting mom dana ñu dal ci yow di la wax ko xew nee na kon su fekkee ne def nañ meeting te moom yëgalul ko la ko kon loolu dafa mel ni loolu du mën a nekk loo xam ne dafa effectif.
waaw xëj na minutes nga wax xëj na du indi minutes waaye dina ñëw ci man.
ma
ne ma lii waxoon nañ ko si
you are talking of the minutes.
meeting si.
Probably he will not bring the minutes, but he will come personally to me to explain me exactly what the meeting was about.
Will that be sufficient to you?
nee na ndax loolu moom dafa doy si yow.
The verbal communication is sufficient to you?
pour ñëw nii taxaw rek wax ak yow.
Well, to be quite honest, in Banjul City Council, most of our communications, lu bari daf dee nekk verbal.
Yeah, to be honest, in Banjul City Council, most of our communications are verbal.
Is that the best way?
nee na ndax yooyu mooy boobu moo nekk yoon bu baax pour mun a communiquer seen diggante.
I will say no.
No.
Then why was it not changed?
nee na lu tax loolu doo leen ko wécci.
waa xëj na jàng naa tamit lu bari si commission bi.
pour
xam ne wax dëgg yàlla binda lu am njëriñ la.
Yes, from this commission I learned a lot and I realized that really writing is very important.
Because most of my communications si ak ministry bi sax dama di jóg rek ma dem wax ak ñoom.
Because
permanent secretary bi ma ñëwaat toog.
Most of my communications with the ministry, I just go talk to them verbally with the permanent secretary and I come back and sit down.
waaye si commission bi laa jàngee ne.
But from this commission I learned that
binda lu baax la.
writing is very good.
te jàng naa tamit ne.
And I learned that too.
su nekkul ci commission bi sax am na yeneen yu ma jànga.
Even about that, I learned a lot.
lu ma wan ne binda dafa baax.
That shows me that writing is very important.
Yeah, so I asked that because the CEO, if he does not forward the minutes of meetings, might have omitted so many important issues for you to be better informed.
nee na soo gisee mu wax la loolu parce que su issue minutes yi mu ñëw moom neen loxo neen daal di la explain loo xam ne loolu moo xewoon fële si meeting bi mun naa nekk lu bëri sax du la ko wax te yow doo ko yëg.
I totally agree.
Yes, I agree to that.
Now, in which case the area council would not have been managed in the most appropriate manner, because then you wouldn't have had the up-to-date information between the daily management, that is the CEO and staff, for a better supervision, supervisory role by the political branch, which is headed by the mayors. Okay. I'm saying, in the absence of forwarding the minutes to the mayors.
nee na lu mu min fii mooy comme li ko wax li am na mi nga xam ne meeting si du ñu la ko dee ici nee na loolu si xewee si yow ici wu ñu la ko minutes.
You would not be in the position to administer the area council in the manner.
nee na loolu dana tax doo mun a yóbbu council bi si yoon bi nga xam ne.
In the manner in which it is supposed to be governed.
bi nga xam ne mbir mi noonu nga ko war a yóbbu wala noonu nga ko war a gofane.
Because now you will have inadequate information.
Because loolu dina tax ne xibaar yu bëri doo ko mun a am da nga manqué xibaar.
From the chief executive and staff.
bi nga xam ne jóge na ko si chief executive ak staff am si.
Because there's a gap in the reporting system.
nee na parce que soo seetee information bu ñu la day jox mooy reporting bi am na diggante boo xam ne gap bu mag moo fa nekk.
You agree with that?
nee na nangoo nga si loolu.
waa xam nga li drive council bi pour the success of the council is not only the mayor.
You know what drives the council for council successful is not the mayor, only the mayor.
So loolu is the council body.
That is the body of council.
So xëy na CEO su ma bañee wax dara.
I think if CEO refused to tell me something.
waaye su demee si general council.
Well, if it went to general council.
fi nga xam ne moom dafa dee toog.
Where he always present.
li war a xam ne mooy drive the success of the council.
And what to drive the success of the council.
loolu foofu daf ko faa wax.
That he will explain that to that place.
Does he forward the monthly minutes of meetings to general council?
nee na monthly meetings yi nga xam ne dañ ko doon def minutes yi daan def ko doon yóbbu si general council.
Most of the time dinañu wax verbally lu gaay di wax.
Most of the time we will be informed verbally of what the meeting was all about.
waaye ndax daf ko fa dee forward man su ma toogee si council meeting yi ma dee chair.
Whether he used to forward the minutes to the council.
mënuma remember boom in the minutes.
But for the ones I'm present, I cannot remember him bringing any minutes.
But I stand to be corrected.
Right, I stand to be corrected.
So which means the problem you have in relation to the CEO not forwarding the minutes to you is the same problem the council will also have, because he would not also submit in the manner in which he is supposed to the minutes of meetings to council for better communication.
Nena kon lolu lu mu wone wala lu mu min moy dafa melni yow nu mu la ñaké la ici ministre ci yow bi nga xamné ministre ñu def ci meeting bi nena mën na nek ben yoon bi la fele tamit ci council tamit du fa day yobu a ministre pour won len lan mo xew.
Wow, li ma try to establish fi moy ne
what I would like to establish here is that
xej na duñu jox minutes.
maybe he will not give us the minutes.
Why verbatim dina ñew explain na li ak li mo am.
But he will explain to us directly verbally what had happened.
So fofu gap bi lu fa nek moy
That is the gap there is that
ñu baña am anything written.
That we don't have something written.
Te lolu lay wax ni tay.
And that is what I'm saying here today.
Ne li fa ses fofu moy
that what had happened there is that
ki mo mané kele mo mané.
This said and the other one says so to me.
Kele ne dede waxuma ko ki ne hakay waxon na ma.
And somebody will deny to say no, I have never said that to you, but you say yes, you do.
Why fogna gentleman agreement.
But I believe gentleman agreement,
which I'm not trying to say ne lolu mo wara am.
and of which I'm not trying to say that should happen.
Why am na ñoo xamne dinañ mëna taxaw wax ne okay dëgg la li ñoko waxon.
But there are, and I think there are people who will stand to say yes, definitely this is what I have said this.
Yes, and so again, to conclude on that, you cannot ascertain whether it's exactly what is discussed at the SMT that is translated or to the council, because if you don't have access to the minutes, you would not know whether there is an omission or not.
Nena kon lolu mo ne moy definitely ñom suñu defé sen meeting bi paré ñu ñew ci yow di la ko wax ni isu ni na kayit wala minutes yi nena mën na nekk sa lu bari li nga xamné war nañ la ko won wala war nañ la ko wax duñ la ko wax mën na nekk tamit yoon bobu tamit lañ def ci SMC moy council fofu tamit mën nañ fa dem ba paré andu ñak minutes so amna lo xamné lu bari duñ ko won wala duñ ko waxé fofu.
Lo digal.
That is true.
Now that was why my earlier point was that that if the CEO handicaps you as the mayoress and handicaps the council, in relation to accurate flow of information, that would not help the council to fully execute its functions.
That is true.
Now, back to the authority for expenditure. You're familiar with the financial and accounting manual for local government authorities?
Nekuma si master de comme li mala wax rek mom moy suma technicien bi ñom suma advisors yi anything lo xamne bu gana ko xam dama leen di o ñom ma laaj ko.
As I said earlier on, he is my technician and they are my advisors, so whatever I'm eager to know, I call them and ask them.
Let me read to you what it says on page 19, section 305, which states authority for expenditure.
Nina legi daf lay jangal loi bo xamne bobu tege nako wala dañ ko tek jagar ko pour ngeen gis ne mbiri dépense naka nga ko wara yobé.
It reads, the authority to incur expenditure is vested in council through budget approval. Mr. Bojo, do you mind interpreting that? I will take
very
it
well. Yes,
slowly.
May I hear very well?
That
Yes.
the authority to incur expenditure is vested in council
Nena lolu lu mu wone lu mu njëkka wax mooy doole bi nga xam ne joxe nañ ko pour mu affaire dépense nena doole boobu joxe nañ ko council mu si council.
through budget approval.
Nena yooyu fu mu wone fu sukkandiku mooy si budget approval bi.
The finance director shall not make any payment.
Nena waaye financial director warta def benn fay.
Nor accept any charge.
Wala joxe accept si benn charge ca wartu charge dara.
Nor accept any charge in his accounts unless
Nena warta nangu benn charge si account am bi xanaa su
authorized by the chief executive.
su fekkee ne chief executive bi jox na ko kaddu pour mu def loolu.
And in accordance with the monetary thresholds.
nee na te ak tamit ak ànd ak monetary thresholds.
Approved by each council.
yi nga xam ne council bi dañ ko approve.
As regard the monetary threshold.
nee na soo ko seetee si monetary threshold bi.
It should be noted that.
nee na loolu war na wone ne.
Up to a given amount.
xam na ñaata wala nangam si xaalis.
The CEO can approve and incur expenditure.
bi nga xam ne CEO mun na ko approve mu daal di ko def dépense ko.
Without reference to the chairman or mayor.
nee na loolu mun na ko def te fekk amul benn référence si chairman wala si mayor.
Of the council.
si council.
Up to a certain amount.
nee na dem na ba benn amount wala certain amount mooy nangam.
The CEO is required to consult.
nee na CEO boobu moom joxuñ ko doole moom lu war mooy dafa war a consult.
And seek clearance from the chairman or mayor.
te si biir loolu dafa war a need clearance si mayor wala si chairman.
Beyond a given amount.
si xaalis wala nangam bi nga xam ne njëg bi nga xam ne wax nañ ko wala joxe nañ ko.
The CEO is required to refer such expenditure.
nee na CEO lu war si moom mooy expenditure boobu daf ko war a refer wala yooni ko si.
To council to seek approval.
si council mu daal di am approval.
Do you understand what it says?
nee na yëg nga wala leer na si yow lu mu wax.
bu baax.
very well.
What do you understand?
nee na yow sa boppam loo yëg si wala loo xam si loi bi.
mooy ne anything loo xam ne dañ koo spend dafa it should be budgeted for.
nee na that means anything that should be spent from council must be budgeted for.
and budget dafa war a dem council.
and the budget has to pass through council.
janaa council bi daf ko war a nangu.
You were explaining what your understanding is in relation to the authority for expenditure as per the financial manual.
Okay, to sum it up, mooy ne every expenditure should be budgeted for.
As I said, every expenditure must be budgeted for.
And budget should be approved by council.
And the said budget should approve by council.
And also there should be a ceiling. Dafa war a am ceiling.
And there should be a ceiling to that.
The ceiling boobu noonu su passé the CEO dafa war a ko yëgal the mayor.
And if that ceiling is exceeded the ceiling, the CEO must inform the mayor.
That's correct.
Now,
do you have this ceiling or this threshold during the period that you have served as mayors in Banjul City Council?
Nena ceiling bobo wala threshold bobo nenda lolu musna ko am di bi nga toge as mayors ci Banjul City Council.
Wa Banjul City Council amul
yes.
A ceiling.
Banjul City Council
amul ceiling.
Have no ceiling.
Try that for so many times.
I tried that for many times.
Why work out?
But it doesn't work.
What do you mean you've tried it so many times it didn't work?
Then as soon as I tried for many times it doesn't work. What means lolu?
Wa bindo na rek pour wone ne so amount sangam suñ ko spend.
I have written to say that if there are the expenditure will be amounted up to something.
So pour ñu mako de yegal.
Let them inform me.
Who did you write to?
Then binga binde kan nga binda?
I wrote a memo.
I wrote a memo
to the CEO.
To the CEO.
When was this?
Then I cannot
remember why do be na sax du ñaar.
I cannot remember exactly, but it's more than 3 times.
And you wrote to say that there should be a ceiling.
Then ya bindon dal li wone ne ceiling dafa wara am.
Wow.
Yes.
And what is the ceiling that you wrote should be enforceable in council?
Then ñaata ci ceiling wala lan moy ceiling bi nga xamne yow sa bopa binding nga ko pour council.
I cannot remember why memo be mu fa.
I cannot remember, but the memo is there.
How much exactly ñaata la bindon? I cannot remember anymore.
I cannot remember exactly how much I wrote.
Why xam na ne
please proceed.
But I know that
mujjewut daal.
It doesn't last.
Yes, we'll come back to that. Now that we are here, how much do you think should be the maximum amount that the CEO can authorize without your consent? And if it reaches that amount, it should be with your consent. How much do you think should be a reasonable amount for the safeguarding of the finances of council?
Nena comme wanga ne li nga bindon mun la ko fatale ko nena way legi ya nge tok fi te yow yaay mayoress bi léegi yow sa xalaat bi ñaata nga foog ne si njëg loolu moo war pour CEO bi war a doxal without la ko sax.
comme man li ma xalaat man la wax.
Yes, what I think that's what you are saying.
Yes.
Yes.
Mun na nekk 100,000, mun na nekk 300,000.
It might be 200,000, 300,000.
Now, why was it not enforced?
Nena luta lolu enforce len ko. Wala top len ko.
Lolu mom wax deug yalla man mënuma tontu lolu.
For that really I can't be able to answer.
Why is that?
Nena luta
man li ma def rek moy suma effort ci la try pour make sure ne may xam lu xew.
What I did was I tried my effort to know what is going on.
But it's supposed to be a mandatory directive. It's supposed to be a practice that it must happen. In the language of the law, it must happen.
Now,
you have written several times. The CEO must follow. And it was never followed. Who is at fault?
I
can't tell exactly who is at fault.
Why lead council
But lead council, what I want to tell you is that
commission be council
this commission, all councils have knowledge or learn from this council.
If I have to be very honest with
commission. If I want to be honest with you, I used to sit at my home, listen or follow this commission, and normally I learn a lot. I used to hear things that my council are not doing that.
Why, as a leader?
As a leader,
you take responsibility.
I will take the responsibility.
Thank you very much. And again, that's why this brings us back to the earlier position that you held. So when we talk about authority for expenditure, the idea that a mayor or a mayoress or a chairperson that they don't have power for expenditure, the law says something different to that. The law says go ahead. 3 people. I will refer to council as people. I will refer to, I am saying 3, that is the CEO. The mayor, mayoress, or chairman, as the case may be. Because some areas have chairman, like Brikam. And council as a general body. All of them have authority, should have authority for expenditure. Now, the CEO report to you. Now, you report back to council which you head. The CEO does not have the full or absolute power to decide how much money goes in or goes out. Above the CEO, there is the mayor or mayoress or chairman. And above the mayor or mayoress or chairman, you have the council. Do we understand it that way?
Lead council,
I think council are just telling me exactly what the law says. And I think the law have to be implemented.
Why councils they do here?
But council, we don't operate like that.
because the CEOs.
Because the CEOs.
Administration bi tamit dañ am ñoo xam ne ñoo nekk ci seen gannaaw.
And the administration too, they have people behind them.
Man duma toog fii di la fenal.
I will not sit here and tell you lies.
Parce que fii kenn jógewu fi dem ñu rey la.
And nobody left here and you are killed.
waaye su ma la ne mayors yi amul doole.
But if I say the mayors don't have powers,
nangul ma ko rek.
please believe me.
And why is that? I don't.
wax naa la fi ne la. dangaa binda ministry.
You write to the ministry.
di complain dara.
Just complaining for something.
ñu wax la carrément bu ñu bindaat.
And they will tell you directly, don't ever write to us.
It's only the CEO who am authority pour binda ñu.
It's only the CEO who have the authority to write to us.
So there are a lot of frustration yoo xam ne moo nekk ci biir council bi.
There are a lot of frustration in council.
So amee CEO boo xam ne amul xel.
If you have a CEO who don't have mind,
dina la relegate to zero.
he will relegate it zero to you.
And lii mooy dëgg bi.
And this is the truth.
moo tax ma bëgg a appreciate ku ñëw fii.
This is why I appreciate, or I want to appreciate whoever come here.
waxal sa diggante ak yàlla rek pour ñu mun a jagar council si mu baax.
You explain the truth between yourself and God so that we can be able to maintenance the council to good standard.
waaye su dee dëgg rek moo am.
But if at all the truth is the one that is prevailing,
mayors si fii am doole.
the mayors here.
At least Banjul City Council. Let me say this very clear.
Let me be specific. Is Banjul City Council mayors here have no powers?
Yeah, so I understand the frustration that council will have generally.
Then I na frustration bi nga am ne council daf ko de am wala de am nañ ko generally.
With ministry.
Si ministry.
We have dealt with this in the beginning. The permanent secretary was here.
Then Ali doxal nañ ko fi bu njëkk bi permanent secretary bi mu ngoon fii.
We have told the permanent secretary where they have fault.
Nee na keroog yëgal nañ dañ ko yëgal fault ñoom seen fault fal na la bàyyi sukkandiku.
In fact, so many.
Te bari na.
So we agree with you.
Nee na nangu nañ te ànd nañ ko sa kàddu li nga wax.
To a large extent.
Am na luñ ko daa topp nañ la dégg nañ la.
Based on subject matter.
Ti loo xam ne loolu lañ nekk di discuss mooy subject matter bi.
And that is the more reason why it is important, like you said.
Nee na lii moo gën a am fayda comme yow sa boppa ni ko waxee.
To see wherever fault lies.
Nee na fépp nga xam ne fault am na fa.
We will find out.
ñoom ñu daal di ko seet.
And hopefully.
Ante gom naa ni.
The commissioners will make recommendations.
Te commissioners yi nañ def recommendation.
And that is why we thank you that's why we thank you.
Nee na lii moo tax ñu daal di la gërëm.
For your honesty.
Ti li nga xam ne jub bi nga xam ne jub nga ko yaa ngi wax lu am.
And your time and interest in this.
Time ak interest bi nga xam ne am nga ko.
So that we also help each other to know the subject matter we are talking about.
Nee na ñun lii moo tax ñu daal di try pour mun a xam subject wala loolu li nga xam ne loolu lañ nekk di wax.
Because when it comes to finance,
because soo demee si biir finance mooy xaalis.
You have technically absolute control over your finance.
Am nga technical absolute control loolu mooy yow sa boppa si finance bi nga xam ne boobu ngeen amee.
Council decide how their finances are disbursed.
Council ñoom waxtaan. ñu daal di tëral yoon bi nga xam ne seen finance noonu lañ ko war a dépenser.
And this of course will be in line with regulations.
Nee na te lii foog na ne wala dafa war sax mu daal di ànd ak luwaay nga xam ne yooyu lañ tëral.
But your contracts, who you pay, how you pay them, the only person that you have to be answerable to is the regulations that are governing you.
Nee na ak yoo xam ne contrat si nga xam ne dañ ko dee fay leneen léegi ngeen fay ko nee na waaye loolu lu la war a jàppale si loolu wala li nga war a toppaa mooy luwaay nga xam ne yooyu mu la war.
Do you understand?
Nee na leer na.
Okay.
Very well.
Exactly. So that the ministry cannot.
Nee na ci kaw loolu da ngaa gis ne ministry bi du mën a.
To a large extent as well.
Nee na duñu mën a def loo xam ne.
Dictate to you your daily expenditure.
Pour ñu yëgal la wala wax la yow di nga war a defee sa dépense wala di nga war a dépenser.
But of course you will be audited periodically.
Nee na waaye da ngaa gis ne yow moom da war a di audit at jamono bu nekk.
Do we understand?
Nee na leer na.
Okay.
Yes.
So authority for expenditure only rests squarely on 3 tiers: the CEO, mayoress or chairperson, and the council.
Nee na wax na ko nee na dépense bi soo seetee ñetti xeer yooyu yi nga xam ne yow lam lay wax CEO, mayor wala mayoress ak chairperson.
So what would be the difficulty in this?
Nee na kon ban naxari wala difficulty ngeen war a am si lii.
waaye wax naa la ko ma ne la yow yaa ngi quote from loi bi.
No, as I said to you that you are quoting from the law.
waaye council dafa am beneen loi bu nekkul loi bi nga xam ne moom lañ bind teg ko si bopp bi.
But we have another law at council of which is written and is laid on top of the table.
te lead council suñ defee 1 million times commission.
And council, if we do commission for up to 1 million times.
te regularize ku nekk sa doole ak sa fan nga war a em.
And they don't regularize the authorities or the powers for each where to start or where to stop.
dinañ amaat yeneen commission.
We'll have another commission.
and I wish the commission bi dafa demoon ñu backdate ko 5 years ago before ñun suñ time.
And I wish this commission should be backdated for 5 years before our time.
so kon dinañ doon appreciate council si léegi.
Then there, the commission itself will appreciate councils the way they are working.
a typical example yaa ngi wax ne mayor bi dafa war a xam everything loo xam ne moo dee dox.
For instance, the example is that you have said that the mayor must be aware of whatever is going on.
And again, I want to underline ne li ma wax fii yëpp maa ngi wax in the context of Banjul City Council.
And as I said, I am specific. Whatever I'm saying here, I'm just talking through the context of Banjul City Council.
Man gis naa fi ñaata witness over 20 witness yoo xam ne toog nañ fii.
I saw people who passed here before me. There are witnesses, more than 20 of them.
Di wax about the EU project of Banjul City Council.
And they were explaining about the EU project at the Banjul City Council.
te man si City Council musuma ko xam musuma ko yëg musuma leen a gis xaw ma ci kenn fii laa leen gisee ñu toog.
And I am at the City Council. I don't know them. I have never met them. I only saw them sitting here before the commission.
All right. We will of course reach to the EU project.
Nena bu soobee Yàlla dañ fa jaar te dinañ fa àgga si EU project bi.
And again, we will know, we will try to find out. We will try to find out
Ne te dinañ def seen gëstu pour mun a xam.
the level of knowledge that each of the players have.
Nena xam-xam bi nga xam ne wala yëg bi nga xam ne ku nekk ak bokk ku bokk xam-xam bi nga xam si mbir mi.
But the issue regarding the problems of, like you said, I quote the law, which I only have to.
Nena waaye soo seetee comme wax nga fii ne moom lu mooy wax si loi bi na ko tànnee wala foofu la mu wax ne waaw te moom dafa war mu def loolu.
And you were trying to tell the commission that there are problems that you face in relation to what actually obtains on the ground.
Nena te yow wax nga fii ne am nga texe yi nga xam ne yu dee xew si loolu.
So, for instance, when the Local Government Finance and Audit Act 2004, Section 12.
Nena soo ko seetee Local Government Act Section 12. 2004 Section 12.
Local Government Finance and Audit Act.
Nena Finance and Audit Act.
2004.
2004.
Section 12.
Section 12.
Which talks about financial autonomy of councils.
Nena loolu wax naa ne affaire financial autonomy of council mooy pour ngeen taxaw seen bopp si biiri xaalis.
Which reads, subject to the provisions of this act.
Nena te lu mu jàng mooy loi boobu noonu bi nga xam ne teg nañu ko.
And any other act.
Ak beneen loi bu bokk wala bu àndaa bi.
Each council has autonomy over its financial matters.
Nena council bu nekk am na taxaw na boppam pour mbir yi nga xam ne dépense wala xaalis bi nga xam ne boobu la dee liggéey foofu.
Excluding salaries.
Nena bokkut salary bokkut. mooy fay bi boobu bokkut.
Allowances.
Allowance bokkut.
And emoluments.
Ak emoluments yooyu bokkut.
So apart from these three,
Nena ñetta yooyu nga xam ne bokkut.
council, you can say, have absolute control.
Nena yooyu council mun na wax ne léegi moom am nañu warugal pour contrôle.
If you're paying a contractor $1 million,
Nena sooy fay contractor $1 million.
you just have to follow the procurement regulations.
Nena lu war mooy pour nga toppa procurement regulation.
And then you pay in the right manner.
Te da nga war a fay mu waree.
You don't have to take any permission from ministry.
Nena warloo jël benn permission si ministry.
If you want to deal with a vendor
Nena soo buggee ab dealings ak vendor mooy jaaykat yi.
on a daily basis,
Ne bés bu nekk.
you follow the procurement regulations.
Nena nga toppa procurement seen regulation
You
yi.
don't have to take any 1% or 0.5% permission from ministry.
Nena te foofa warloo am wala warloo am benn permission si ministry.
So have you ever had a problem? Have you ever had problem
Nena nda yow sa boppa mus nga am problème.
in relation to, what I mean you is council,
Nena su ne yow mooy council seen area council.
in relation to expenditure,
Nena lu bokka wala lu ànda lu mel ni dépense.
where it is not within the areas of salary or allowance or emoluments.
non li nga xamne boko tak ñi tay moy wa salary allowance wala emoluments.
Did ministry ever interfere with this, with your daily expenditure?
Nena na ministry mus nañ la interfere wala dugal sen lo ci bago dépense.
yeguma ko parce que man duma di deal ak yoyu.
No, I'm not aware because I don't have any dealings with that.
Exactly. So that is why I said
Nena li mota money.
this is squarely on the council itself.
Nena lolu dafa teggu ci council ci bopam.
Entirely.
Nena yépp ci council bi loxo council la.
Do you agree?
Nena nangu nga lolu.
Waaw.
Yes.
Now, this is particularly important
Nena li dafa nek lo xamne dafa am fayda lol.
because so many payments have been made,
Nena am na fay yu nga xamne bari nañ fay ngeen ko def ngeen ko.
which appears to not follow,
Nena te soko sété yoyu anduta.
not andut, if mainly andut, appears to have not followed
Nena dafa melni andut
with due process.
ak yoon bi nga xamne yoon bu teggu.
By due process, I mean the financial manual,
Nena so ne due process moy topa financial manual.
the Financial Audit Act,
Financial Audit Act
and the list goes on.
te lolu muy topante.
Now, what are the mechanisms that you have in council
Nena kon yen council ban mechanics ngeen am yi nga xamne yoy ngeen teddal fofu. Mechanism
to monitor
pour ngeen mëna sét né monitor bi
the accounts of council,
moy sen compte bi moy compte council
the expenditure
moy dépense
of council?
council.
Comme ni ma ko waxee woon rek man I rely entirely on the CEO.
As I said earlier on, I rely entirely on the CEO
pour mu wax ma upgrade ma on council's accounts.
to upgrade me on council's account
And to advise me the way forward.
and to advise me the way forward.
Would you know?
For example,
Please proceed. Please proceed.
For example, so need to know what's the sponsorship, for example, scholarship.
For example, if somebody appear to look for a scholarship,
Dina ko
I will call him
ma wax ko jox ko paper bi,
and inform him and I gave him the paper
and then he will advise me.
and there he will advise me.
So fekkee the budget bi mu fa,
If the budget is already there,
ñu proceed.
then we proceed.
Now, the CEO,
Nena legi CEO bi
as we have discussed,
li nga xamne wax nañ bilam
is below the hierarchy. It's down at the hierarchy in relation to having powers for monetary threshold.
dina soko sété mom nek na lo xamne dafa néew doole pour mu na taxaw lu ñëw wa ci place bi nga xamne threshold woné.
Is it because council did not know that there should be a check and balance in relation to what the CEO approves or not?
Hana council wala xamuñ ne amna lo xamne wala dafa war pour ngeen wara check li nga xamne council bi moy balance li nga xamne CEO bi def ko tegal da nga ko wara sét bu baax.
Going by the regulation for authority for expenditure.
Nena so topé loi bi nga xamne dafa tegu pour doole bi nga xamne mom la joxé pour mbiri dépense.
Because it appears as if council did not know
Nena because soko sété dafa melni council yegle lolu
that there should be this regulation
Nena waye dafa war loi bi dafa war tegu
to monitor expenditure.
pour nga gis ne lolu mëna monitor expenditure bi.
Nekkul ne xamuñ ko de.
It doesn't mean that we don't know about it.
Because wax naa la ko ma ne la bind naa du benn yoon du ñaari yoon même.
As I told you that I wrote a memo more than twice.
Because this should come from council.
Nena because li si council la wara baye.
So, number one, we will even apply that you produce the letters that you have written to CEO.
Nena legi sa lu ñu def fi moy mën nañ apply pour nga gis ne memo yoy nga bind ci CEO nga dal di ko ici.
Can you do that?
Mun nana ma mën nga def lolu.
Please write it down.
Nena mën nga ko bind pour nga baña faté.
Thank you. So why I said that is because the same law that provides for the authority for expenditure, section 305 of the financial manual. Section 306 states. Same thing, monetary thresholds in emergency cases as well. That council should approve. The same with the authority for expenditure, council should approve. So not the chairman or the mayor or the mayoress. There should be a resolution. From council to say that CEO up to $100,000, you cannot go beyond this.
After 100,000,
after $100,000, you must seek for clearance. You must consult the mayoress as the case is in Banjul. The same resolution should also state that mayoress, you cannot approve payments beyond $500,000. If it exceeds this, you must bring it to council. So, if the council did not pass that resolution, it's two things. It's either council did not know, or they knew but failed to do that. Do you understand?
Remember being a time you know what the CEO worked to spend more than 500,000.
I can remember there was a time that it was said that the CEO cannot expend more than an amount of 500,000.
Why I can't remember any time when the decision.
But I cannot remember any time that the decision was
taken in council.
The decision was taken in council to show that we need to have a ceiling.
Why?
But one thing I want to make it clear here.
So say the spending of Banjul City Council.
If you check the expenditure of Banjul City Council.
Banjul City Council, the council for financial muscle sami.
But Banjul City Council is a council which you know that the financial muscles.
It's an associated within 8 years.
If you check about 8 years ago.
Within 8 years.
If you check about 8 years, within 8 years.
When you spend 500,000.
What you spend, the amount we spend for 500,000.
Above 500,000.
Or above 500,000.
One off. 500,000.
It's only one time.
No. When you spend one of 500,000.
Or when we spend the 500,000.
So the 8 years you move.
And if you check the 8 years while I was serving,
so everybody do pass it 5, 6, 7 times.
If at all, if you count it, it will be less than 6 to 7 times.
Because council bundawla.
Because it's a small council. And the monies or the finance is not very much.
Spending bubari.
Because where we started doing much expenditure,
EU project.
that is when we get into the EU project.
Why put 500,000
But to pull out 500,000 to say we are going to buy something, I cannot remember that more than 5 to 6 times.
You mean individuals isolated cases of expenditure or the yearly expenditure?
Then allow me come dépense bi wala at bi yépp.
Suñ lan
Néna lu mo laajte di dépense boobu ngay wax 500,000 bi néna dafa nekk loo xam ne da ngeen ko dépense pour at bi yépp la wala?
No, pour comme benn yoon one off ñu jënd dara.
No, it's just once occasion, just for instance to buy something.
Let's say for instance you want to purchase furniture.
Néna dafa mel ni dañ jël exemple comme nga bëgg jënd ay bagages néeg.
Yes, but what would be very ideal in this circumstance is the overall expenditure in the given year, is the overall expenditure in a given year.
nee naa léegi bu ñu seet naa loolu dafa nekk loo xam ne dépense bi nga xam ne yëpp pour at bi la.
waaw lu nga wax dëgg la dama la bëgg a woon rek ne la.
yes because what I said is true.
yaa ngi wax ne xëj na council si xamuñ.
As you said, that might be council, we are not aware.
So, xëj na soo toogee gis ne defuñu xëj na silin ne CEO na su spendee 500,000 da ko wax council.
As I said, because there are nothing like a ceiling of which if the CEO is to spend more than 500,000, you need to inform council.
xëj na loolu dafaa ñëw benn yoon o ñaari yoon si at bi.
I know maybe that comes once or twice in the year.
No, that will only be an example.
Nee na loolu mën na nekk example.
You can even say that $50,000 it has to be cleared by the mayors.
Nee na mu nga wax ne comme for instance 50,000 boobu war nañ ko clear si mayor.
Even $10,000 is.
Su nekkee 10,000 sax.
Depending on what the council decides. You know your budget, you know your income at the end of the year, realistic, technically you know how much money you generate, so you can decide based on that.
Nee na loolu mun na nekk sa xalaat parce que yow sa boppa yaa xam ñaata nga denc wala loo am si xaalis ñaata nga jénni si xaalis wala lu ñaata fa nekk.
So I was just giving an example.
Nee na loolu moom just example la rek.
Of the idea that you should have the threshold.
Nee na pour wane ne yow dafa war pour nga am threshold.
Now back to my question.
Nee na soo delloo si laajte bi.
Did council know about this authority for expenditure?
Nee na ndax council yëg nañ autorité bi pour mbiri dépense loi bu tegu.
Or that they do not know?
Wala ñaareel bi ndax yëgu leen ko xamu leen ko.
Councilors dinañ ko xam because we have seasoned councilors yoo xam ne ñu ngi fa woon balaa council bi sax.
Council are aware that she told that there are councils who were there before these people.
So in the absence of issuing or passing a resolution for the adherence to the authority for expenditure, would that be deliberate then?
Nee na kon pour nga gis ne jox leen resolution bi nga xam ne wala jox leen ko xam ne kooku moo war pour def dépense mu ñaaka ko kon loolu dafa mel ni du def leen seen warugal wala seen yoon.
Xaw ma lan moo nekk seen mind si.
I don't know what was in their mind at that time.
waaye wax naa leen ne man suma bopp jëloon naa jéego.
But as I said, as myself, I have taken action.
Ma binda.
Wrote.
te du benn yoon du ñaari yoon.
And it's not one, not twice.
waaye wokkut.
But it doesn't work.
But on your side, yes. But on council's side, it can only be deliberate because you've already told us that they knew that they had this authority to put the ceiling. They never put the ceiling. It's a failure on council's side.
And I see yow sa booba waaw dëgg la loolu moom def nga sa war nga. Nee na waaye soo seetee pour council dem nañ comme yow sa boppa wax nga ne yëg nañ ko te defuñ ko nee na kon loolu dafa nekk loo xam ne dafa manqué lool si liggéey bi.
waaw buñ teel a wax ne jëliñ ko mun naa am tamit mun nañ mus nañ koo wax ma fàtte.
If I say that probably they have ever told me and I forgot.
So ñu seet ñu demaat back si minutes rek.
No, we have to go back to the minutes.
So the issue is, if they've ever passed a resolution like that, we have interviewed the CEO, we don't even see a council generally that would adhere to this regulation.
Nee na su fekkee ne resolution dañ ko pass nee na wax nañ fi ak CEO bi nee na waaye dara wone te council yi sax am na ñoo xam ne sax definitely resolution bi dañ ko tegu si kaw seen kanam.
Some have it as a matter of practice.
Nee na am na ñoo xam ne dañ ko am as a matter of practice.
Like for instance, in KMC.
Nee na waaye soo ko seetee KMC.
Some will say that if we need to make a payment up to $100,000,
am na ñoo xam ne dañ dee wax ne su bëggee def fay bu dem ba $100,000.
you must consult the Lord Mayor Talib Ahmed Bensouda.
Nee na fokk ñu consult Lord Mayor Bensouda.
One or two will say it is $200,000.
am na ñoo xam ne dañoo wax ne $200,000.
Some will give you a different figure.
am na ñoo xam ne tamit dañ lay di jox njëg bi nga xam ne bokkut.
They don't have a resolution.
Nee na amuñu resolution.
At least we haven't seen it.
because gisuñu ko.
They didn't produce it.
Nee na mosuñu ko wane fii.
But at least they will tend to have that practice in council.
Nee na waaye ñooñu dañu wane ne am nañ practice boobu si council.
Again, my opinion is,
nee na ñaareel bi si xalaatam bi mooy.
it will even be wrong for them, KMC,
nee na da nga gis ne KMC loolu sax dafa nekk yoon boo xam ne jubut.
to even have the practice
pour practice bi.
and not have the resolution to
te
follow.
amuñu resolution.
But I'm just saying that is how, like you were saying, sometimes the actual operations of council is different from what the law says.
Nena te loolu soo ko seetee mu ngi laa bantuwaat comme yow wax nga ko fii ne am na doxal bi nga xam ne da ngeen ko dee doxal dafa àndut ak resolution si.
And we want to know why.
Nena te dañ bëgg a xam lan am na tax loolu.
And you've helped us to say.
Nena te yow da ñu jàppale nga dal di ñu leeral ne.
You've helped us. You helped the commission to state.
Nena da ñu jàppale commission bi ñu dal di state ne.
That for instance, BCC, you don't have that.
Nena BCC wax nga ne yéen am nañ ko.
And the General Council is very, to be honest, is very, let me say, acute with experienced councillors, so they must be in the position to know.
Nena te General Council am na ñoo xam ne ñoom am nañ xam-xam lu mel ni loolu te ñoom tamit am nañ dañ war pour xam ko.
That's why I said if they didn't do it, then it's deliberate.
Nena lii moo tax mu ne su fekkee ne defuñu ko wala defuñu ko kon dafa mel ni dañu ko tey.
Do you understand?
Nena nangu nga loolu.
Wow. And
Yes.
Lead council foog naa bëgg naa pour nga understand leen tamit.
And Lead Council, I want you to understand one thing.
Banjul City Council is very, very different from other councils.
Banjul City Council is very, very different from other councils.
ñun bu ñoo ñëw si council bi.
When we came or we were coming to council,
benn page of handing over sax loo xam ne moo ñoo direct amuñ ko.
we don't even have a single page of handing over.
And most of us were new.
And most of us, we were new.
So luñ starté yëpp di ko doon def.
All what we started doing,
mun nga xëy na soo ko seetee 90% of liñ doon def yëpp dafa wrong.
and if you check, probably all the 90% of what we have done was wrong.
liñ doon demee rek mooy.
Because the way we were moving or doing things were,
nii la ko ñii doon defee nii la ko ñii doon defee.
as okay, these people were doing it like this, so let us follow it more. That is how they were doing it. That is how we were doing.
loolu moom dëgg la mu fa woon.
That is true. That was happening there.
so xëy na loolu yëpp moo indi tamit.
And I think all that is the cause of.
because we are more into nii lañ ko doon defee than even luwaa bi lu wax.
As I said, we follow the people who were saying, oh, we do as they were doing it like that, differently from what the law says.
because soo bëggee dem too much si luwaa bi tam.
Because if you want to follow the law too much,
di nga am blockage feneen.
you will have a blockage somewhere around.
No, you will not have a blockage.
No, law and blockage.
The law will give you, if you follow it.
Then the law is so topic.
It's not perfect.
Then the prophet
It's not perfect.
is not perfect.
In fact, it has so many areas that need to be reviewed and amended.
Nena amna ay place yo xamne dañ ko wara wécci amna yo xamne dañ ko wara sét bu baax.
Even perhaps to help you in administration on a daily basis.
Nena pour nga gis ne ñu jappalé len ci administration bi ngeen nekka bés bu nekka.
But it's more perfect than not having or following regulations.
Nena waye so sété parfait fa nekka nena nekka na ñoo xamne lu bari duñ topa regulation ci.
No, it's better than not having or not following the structure, not following the law.
Nena dafa melni lolu dafa ñaaw pour nga gis ne loi bi du tégué top len ko comme nu waré.
No.
understand naa li nga wax.
Yes.
Very well.
Yes. So.
waaye man tam dama bëgg nga xam ne.
Yes, I still understood very well what you are trying to say, but now I still want you to understand that
man maa toog si position boobu.
I am the one sitting on that position.
te waatal naa la si yàlla ne amul lu maa toog fii.
And I took out here, I don't want to sit here and
ma def ko ba pare di si deli naan la déedéet mbaa li ne rus naa loolu sax.
now I'll be very shameful to do that and later on trying to make, I'll be very ashamed to do that here.
waaye ay dégg naa yu bari.
But I had a lot.
yoo xam ne wax dëgg yàlla yëguma ko sax.
You know, truly speaking, I was not even aware of that.
waaye li ma si jàngee rek mooy soo jiitoo yéen ay da nga ko war a nangu.
But as I said, what you learn as a leader, some of things you need to do.
waaye su ma ko nangoo ba pare tamit dinañ ko leeral.
If you agree and you need to make it clear.
for the interest of ki nga xam ne mooy ñëw ëllëg.
For the interest of the person coming tomorrow.
ak for the interest of accountability and transparency.
And that is accountability and transparency.
soo toogu ci suma position.
If you don't sit at my position,
li ma wax doo ko xam.
what I'm saying you will not understand.
li ma la bëgg a wax rek mooy ne.
What I want to tell you is that
the system is polluted.
the system is polluted.
waaye soo toogut man si suma man laa wax de waxuma yeneen council de.
I'm not talking about other councils. I am specifically on my own council.
doo ko xam.
You will not know.
yu bari xew na.
A lot of things happened.
waaye si kanam xëj na yooyu yëpp dina feeñ.
But later, I think all those things will be revealed.
si nga understand.
That is where you should understand. Or you will understand
lan laa xam ak lan laa xamut.
what I know and what I don't.
waaye dinaa la wax ne respect bu ma amal this commission.
What I want to assure you that the respect that I have for this commission.
ak appreciate bu ma appreciate commission bi.
And the appreciation that I have for this commission.
because commission bi dafa mel dafa ñëw man pour defar suma legacy.
It seems the commission came specifically for me to make my legacy.
amul dara lu ma la fee wax.
I will have nothing to say.
loo xam ne dama ko nuba.
That I will hide.
déedéet.
No.
Again,
And however difficult it is,
dinaa la wax ne nii la demee.
I will tell you this is how it happened.
because dégg naa fi yu bari.
Because I had a lot hearing.
ma xam ne loolu dimbalewul commission bi.
And I know that does not help the commission.
again, thank you very much.
Commission.
Again, this is the intention of the commission.
Commission.
You are very right. It's not easy to be a leader. It's more or less to be the leader of a whole jurisdiction, of a whole area council or city council.
City council or area council.
It's very, very difficult. And so we know, even if we're not there, we understand how difficult it is. And more so, to answer to the public regarding how the administration of the area council was done. To even willingly come, participating to help give information. It's also commendable no matter how difficult it is. It is noted. So back to the issue, what I was discussing with you is that there are so many payments that councils will engage on. In this case, BCC. That will appear to not be in line with regulation. Now, we have talked about the financial manual, the Finance and Audit Act, Financial Audit Act for local government area councils, the local government act, procurement regulations. Does council follow all this in deciding which dalasi goes to where, or how the monies of council are spent?
That is not my job.
Administration,
the administration used to do that. But I think so for them too. They were doing accordingly. Because sometimes I do see some documents. They said those documents are from the GPPA. When somebody came and needed something, for instance, a gamo happened, or church we need something. When they came, I minute that. I minute it, and after it passes to the CEO.
Why,
for me,
because all those line of expenditure,
all those lines of expenditure,
they are all budgeted for.
They are all budgeted for.
Because I'm in religious budget.
Because we have religious budget.
I'm in culture.
We have culture.
Etc. and so forth.
Etc. and so forth.
So scholarship ame.
So when it happens, scholarship had.
I minute
and give it to him. Well, for me, I think thinking that he will get it from the shared budget.
So procedures they were going on.
And I thought that all the procedures were going on.
Rightly.
Rightly.
The Lord Mayor, as the It is your job.
nee na loolu sa liggéey la
It is job of council.
nee na sa liggéey council la
In fact, the law makes it your job and the job of council.
nee na loolu loi bi daf ko nga nekk mu nekk sa liggéey ak liggéey council
In fact, the CEO is answerable to council.
nee na CEO yow da nga war a answerable si council
Let me read to you
nee na mu jàngal la benn
administrative structure of council.
administrative structure
of council,
of
the Local Government Act.
council local government act
It says the chief executive, section 42 sub 1,
nee na lu ma fi mooy chief executive subsection 1
42 sub 1.
42 sub 1
There shall be a chief executive for each council whose office shall be an office in local government service and shall, subject to the provisions of this act, be subject to terms and conditions which may be prescribed. 2. A chief executive shall be appointed by local government service commission after consultation with the chairperson, who may attend all proceedings and deliberations of the commission when considering the appointment of a chief executive. 3. Applications for the office of the chief executive shall be submitted to council for its prior comments, and you have functions of the chief executive. For the 3 sub 1, the chief executive shall manage the affairs of the council and shall be answerable to the council and be subject to its direction and control. Sub 2 says, a chief executive shall, in the exercise of his or her functions, report to the chairperson. Do you see this?
Wow.
Yes. So it is the responsibility of
yes
council and the responsibility of the chairperson, as the case may be, the mayor as the case may be, or the mayor as the case may be.
nee na li sa responsible la council mayor chairperson
The chief executive is not working in isolation.
nee na CEO bi nekkul di liggéey moom nee na wala moom kenn
He is not the most powerful in council.
nee na te nekkul ne moo gën a am doole si council
Council is the most powerful, then the mayor or mayoress, then the chief executive.
nee na council moo ko gën a am doole mayor moo ko gën a am doole then nga am CEO
Do you understand that?
nee na leer na
I totally agree.
I totally agree
waaye foog naa di nga nangu tamit ne
but I think you too will agree that
council every month benn yoon la day toog for example.
council every month we used to have sittings once
The CEO ak mayor bi bokkuñ yoon.
the CEO and the mayor they are not of the same way
even though loi bi wax na ne dafa war a answerable to mayor bi.
then as the law said he is answerable to the mayor
waaye going back si li ma la waxoon ci njëlbeen.
but going back to what I have told the commission before
lim ma wax rek laa mën a xam.
whatever he told me is what I am aware
lu ma waxut mënuma koo xam.
whatever he don't inform me I cannot be
the
able
structure of council ni mu demee.
and the structure of council
luñ bugg a ma xam laay xam luñ buggut ma xam mënumaa muus ma ko waane ba xam ko.
whatever they want me to know I will know but if something that they don't want to know me to know I will never know
No, let me assist you in that.
nee na mu jàppal la si loolu
If you have the right structures,
nee na soo fekkee ne da ngeen bind structures
there's no way
nee na amul benn yoon
that anything will happen
loo xam ne xew na foofu
in your backyard
si sa biir mbir mi
without you knowing.
te yow yëguloo ko
It's like a family.
nee na dafa mel ni famille
It's like the father and the mother.
nee na dafa mel ni baay ak yaay
You have to know.
war nga xam
You must know.
te yow da nga war pour xam
Maybe not 100%.
nee na mun naa ne nga du 100%
That is why you will be aided by other institutions like National Audit.
nee na lii moo tax dañ la war a jàppale di aide loo xam ne dafa nekk yeneen institution lu mel ni audit
You will be helped by internal audit.
nee na internal audit dañ lay jàppale
You will be assisted by procurement.
nee na procurement tamit dañ lay jàppale
These are independent institutions within or outside the area councils
nee na lii nekk na ay institution yi nga xam ne ñu ngi taxaw seen boppa wala daa ñu ngi si biir area council wala ñu ngi si biir
that will help council.
naa na loolu dina jàppale council
Any council.
council bu nekk
The CEO wants to hold information, wants to not transmit certain information.
nee na CEO su fekkee ne bëggut laa jox wala bëggut laa yëgal lu xew
At the end of the year,
nee na su at bi jeexee
every quarter,
nee na quota bu nekk
there should be reporting mechanisms.
nee na da ngaa gis ne am na ay xibaar ay reporting mechanism yu
You
fa
have committees of council.
am nga committees councils committees
If they are effective,
nee na su fekkee ne ñoom dañ nekk ak council bu effective
you at least have 7% of information you need to have.
da ngaa gis ne xibaar yu bëri yi nga xam ne da nga ko soxla pour am ko war a yëg ko da nga koo jot
Do you understand?
nee na dégg nga loolu
lii council
yes lead council
wallaay ni nga ko waxee dafa yomb torop.
As you said, as you are saying, it is very simple.
And trust me, that's how it's supposed to be there.
te ni nga ko waxee noonu.
And as you said,
noonu la war a nekkee.
that is how it should.
waaye xam nga yow yaa ngi ko waxee ci biir buggi luwaa.
But as far as you are saying it true from the law,
so nga fàttaliku ne.
and you remember that
CEO bi ak ay ngoñam.
CEO has his insight,
xam nañ si seen bopp bi ne.
and they know very well that,
ne mayo bi yóbbuwut leen fa.
and the mayor does not bring them there,
xam nañ ne mayo bi mënul leen a daaxal.
and they know that the mayor cannot be able to
xam nañ ne mayo bi
dismiss
mënul
them,
leen a suspend.
and they know that I cannot suspend them,
xam nañ ne mayo bi mënul leen a wax ne seen bët baa ngi xonxa.
and the mayor cannot tell them that your eyes are red.
so yaa ngi try pour waxal ma luwaa.
So I know you are trying to tell me about the law,
man tam maa ngi try pour wax la ni ma dunda.
and I'm too trying to tell you how I survived.
te foog ñëwuñ si ñu tase.
Unless we come, we all met,
council si du musa baax.
councils will never be good.
All right.
man dama dee tukki ak suma colleagues yi.
I used to travel with my colleagues,
dama leen dee ñëwee.
but I used to.
because ñooñu ñoo dee indi seen CEO.
It's time for break. Let me just respectfully cut you short. I will chairperson. It's time for break. I've been informed by the registrar.
Yes, we normally have a 30-minute recess. We will come back after 30 minutes. We may rise.
Good afternoon, Madam Witness. Welcome back. You may kindly take your seat. Madam Witness, for continuation of your testimony before this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and Related Matters, I want to remind you once again that you are still on the oath. Before I hand you over to Madam Chair for us to proceed. Thank you. Madam Chair, over to you.
Good afternoon, Madam Mayor. You are welcome back.
afternoon.
Thank you. Council, can we please proceed?
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. You were explaining before we went on break the CEO and the mayors, as the case may be.
Explain what I did break a very CEO mayor.
Do you want to proceed before I ask my question?
waaw foog naa foofu waxtaanoon nañ ci mooy ne comme wax naa la ma ne la amuñ a threshold.
As I said, I think we have discussed that already before we left. As I said, we don't have a threshold.
so te foog naa ne tam suñ spending si yëpp mu doon dem in line of loi bi naka la ko waxee.
As I said, all their expenditures was online with the law.
No, it was not. That is the issue. It was not because the law was not followed.
Nena dede nena andu tak loi bi parce que so sédé ñom di doxal mbir mi ak loi bi andul.
Because if they have they are spending money unilaterally
dépense bi nga xamné ñu ko di def
without the necessary check and balance,
nena té topuñ wala bayu xel check and balance bi,
then there is a risk of misappropriation of funds.
nena lolu soko sété lolu dina isi risque wala dina ubi yoon pour nga gis né fonds yu bari nañ manqué wala mis of funds
And mismanagement of funds.
té dafa nekk tamit ñaka topoto xaliss bi wala mismanagement of funds.
Do you understand?
Nena understand?
waaw.
Yes.
That is the reason why there has to be adherence to the regulations.
Nena li mo wara ta regulations yi ni dañ ko wara topa.
Understand? You know Fatou Mbenga?
Nena xam nga ku ñëwa Fatou Mbenga.
waaw.
Yes.
Who is Fatou Mbenga?
Nena kooku mooy kan suñu ne Fatou Mbenga.
mooy député PRO bi.
Deputy PRO.
And who was the PRO?
Nena ku nekkoon kan moo nekkoon PRO?
Modou Lamine bi ba.
Modou Lamine bi ba.
Now, there were several payments
Nena am na ay fay yoo xam ne def nañ ko.
made to Fatou Mbenga.
Te fay nañ ko Fatou Mbenga.
Now, I will show you the voucher.
Nena dina la woon vouchers yi.
You have voucher number 0000, sorry, BCC PV 22000417.
Nena bera boy bu njëkk bi boobu la lay woon nomba bi la moo wax ni 00.
You have 22001145.
22111045.
Yes, all these vouchers
Voucher bi yëpp
were payments made to Fatou Mbenga.
nena nekk na voucher yoo xam ne fee bi nga xam ne def nañ ko Fatou Mbenga.
All of those payments
nena seetal fee yooyu yëpp
made to Fatou Mbenga
nga xam ne fee nañ ko Fatou Mbenga
were apparently made in her name.
nena def nañ ko si turam.
waaw
As per directives from you.
nena te nekk na loo xam ne yow yaa leen xelal pour ñu def ko
She was acting
parce que moom mu ngi nekkoon active
as per your instructions.
ci kaw yow sa kàddu yi nga xam ne yaa ko instruct.
Is that correct?
nena daal loolu dëgg la.
bépp loo xam ne Fatou Mbenga daf ko request
All that Fatou Mbenga requested
from A to Z
from A to Z,
man maa ko ko wax
I told her.
And why is that?
nena lu tax loolu.
wax naa la ko ma ne la
I told you that
suñ soxlee dara
whenever we need something,
we make a request
we do make a request.
request dañoo def to the CEO.
We make a request to the CEO.
So now it's left to the CEO
Now it left to the CEO
mu ne ñu waaw or déedéet
to say yes or no.
soo seetee benn si request yi foofu
If you check one of the requests,
it's from the General Council
it's from the General Council
pour ñu help the flood victims.
to help the flood victims.
But the money cannot be requested by the office of the Lord Mayor to decide as to how to spend this money. It's the issue.
Then why so say the halis bi wata neka request bi nga xam ne loolu mayo ba ko war a request pour wane naka lañ ko war a dépensé nee na li mooy wax bi.
Lii council
Lead council
musu ñoo am request boo xam ne dañoo ne mayor bi moom moo ko spend naka la ko bëggee loolu musta am.
That have
dañoo def
never-
mooy we request the money.
that have never happened. There is no request that indicate that it's the mayor who says he need that to be expended in this way. No.
Fatou Mbenga lu mu wax was very clear. Mayor
What-
ma instruct pour ma def request bi.
What Fatou have said is very clear that I advise her to make a request.
So this is ñun suñ boss stop bi fu mu em mooy make the request.
And what the powers we have or where to stop it, that means to make a request.
So pour naka lañ ko implémenter loolu dafa def CEO bi naka la ko bëggee.
But the implementation is left with the CEO the way he like it.
nekkul ne xaalis dañ ko dee jël dugal ko si baak indi ko suma office comme ni ma ko déggee ñu ko interpréter.
It doesn't mean that they put money in the bag and bring it to my office as the way I had them interpreted it.
Flood victims yi.
The flood victims,
For example,
for instance,
it was made through assessment.
it have made true assessment.
What kind of assessment?
Then about for some assessment.
Comme ku nekk victime bi lan la soxla.
For
soxla na
instance,
lii, soxla na lële.
Each of the victims, how you needed or you wanted,
We take it to General Council and it's there in the memo.
we took that to the General Council and it was on the memo.
General Council
Who did the assessment?
Then I can more of assessment.
ñoom Modou Lamine Biba si la bokkoon.
More Lamin Biba was
They cannot do that.
Si Red Cross si lañ bokkoon.
Red Cross was involved.
But they cannot do that.
Then I knew not develop.
There is a procedure for expenditure.
Then I found your through the past.
No, I'm not saying ne ñoom ñoo doon spend.
I don't say.
Dama ne assessment bi.
I'm talking about the assessments.
So who was spending?
Then I can't go and do the banks.
Kan moo nekk
Do the banks spend.
The office of the CEO. So they gave the money. We request for the money.
What
so
we-
the money, Fatou
What we did, we request for the money, and when we got the money, it was given to Fatumeng.
So through the need assessment, we pay that money to these people.
Through the assessment, we then paid these monies to these people. And they were all there.
And who does the payment?
Then I cut more the favor.
Fatumeng.
That is what is wrong.
Then I load more and not your.
I totally agree with you.
I-
Why at that time?
I agree, but it happens at the time. If at all it is myself, I will not even agree.
Because we thought we were doing the right thing.
Because that was not the right thing.
It is good you are admitting.
Then I come here.
Please listen to what she's saying and you interpret it rightly. Because she has said that at that time she thought she was doing the right thing and you did not do that.
Very well. Thank you, madam.
I said it is good that you are honorable in admitting.
Nena, bana de nena, dangane kako hamne dangde nangu.
Why? Because I'm a free janga. I'm going to so low
Yes, because I came here to learn if that happens again in Banjul,
They didn't qualify a different way.
we will be doing it in a different way.
Because, for instance, this voucher of $400,000,
Then associated voucher will be more $400,000.
where the payment description reads cash allocation to flood victims.
Then I voucher will for being more cash allocation to victims, flood victims.
Where you have a letter, a memo from the Lord Mayor
Then I amga letter which you get Lord Mayor
to the Assistant Public Relations Officer.
to the Assistant Public Relations Officer.
The subject is General Council's resolution on the need to assist the Banjul flood victims.
Then we have general assistance to help the Banjul flood victims.
To need to assist the Banjul flood victims.
Need to assist the Banjul flood victims.
Now, following a resolution by the General Council on the 2nd of August 2022,
An associated general council's resolution being happening in the 2nd of
August 2022,
August 2022.
to assist victims of the recent Banjul flooding,
And to assist the victims of Banjul flooding. Pour jàppale ñoo xam ne ñu nekk Banjul ñi nga xam ne am nañ problème ndox.
I am proposing on behalf of the General Council to raise an amount of $400,000
nee na loolu bind nañu ko nee na mu ngi propose pour nga raise xaalis bi nga xam ne dem na ba $400,000
to assist the above mentioned victims.
pour jàppale ñoo ñi nga xam ne am nañ teeteer ndox.
Bearing in mind that the council is not presently financially buoyant.
nee na waaye ba léegi bàyyi nga xel ne council ba léegi lu ñu amee si xaalis daal nekkut ne nekkut xaalis bi bëriwul.
Now, the request for interest for support
nee na loolu xam ne bind nañ interest for support.
that was written
nee na bind nañ ko.
by the Assistant Public Relations Officer Fatou Menga,
waaye Fatou Mbengue mooy
addressed to the Chief Executive Officer via the Director of Finance,
relationship te daf ko adresse to
the CEO
the CEO
via the Director of Finance.
via the Director of Finance.
Because I write on behalf of the Mayor
nee na bind na ko si turi mayor
to request for $400,000
di laajte xaalis bu dem ba $400,000
as council support to the flood victims.
pour nga gis ne loolu dana nekk jàppale bi nga xam ne kasu loolu la ñoo jàppale flood victims.
Now, who was this money given to? Who were the flood victims? How were they given this money? Do we have a retirement for this?
nee na léegi kan moo fee xaalis bi ñan ñooy victime yi ak naka lañ jotee xaalis bi nee na ndaa mun nañ am retirement.
Yes, it's a question.
nee na laajte la.
I am so ne Fatou Menga dina war a def retirement bi.
I'm sure Fatou Mbengue will do the retirement.
Te alhamdulillah ñi jox xaalis bi.
And blessing to God, the monies, those he gave the monies to,
Foog naa ñëpp a ngi dunda de ñu fa.
I think they are all alive.
And foog naa dina si yokkale na tam.
And I think I will add some to it.
400,000 bi.
This 400,000,
Yóbbu wutoon victime si fenn.
that does not take the victims anywhere.
Man personally suma family
For me personally, my family,
spend nañ about 350,000 extra si loolu.
they have spent more than 350,000.
Moo tax it was very painful.
This is why, or that was why it is very painful. It was
suñ
very
ko
painful.
bëggee interpret as Fatou Mbengue dafa jël xaalis bi ñëw indi ko suma office jox ma commande.
To interpret like Fatou Mbengue took the monies and bring it to my office.
As I said,
Earlier on,
the process might be wrong.
the process might be wrong.
loolu accept naa ko.
The process is wrong.
Then,
Okay, it's wrong.
It's wrong, yes.
Now, the amount, like I've always been saying,
Then njëg bi mooy xaalis bi amount bi comme moom toujours daf ko de wax
my position with the lawyers
nee na moom position bi ak lawyer
is that even if it is $1,
nee na mooy su nekkee benn dalasi sax très
it's public funds.
nee na mbooloo ñoo ko moom.
And there's a law that governs how to do expenditure with respect to public funds.
nee na te am na loi bi nga xam ne dañ ko tëral pour nga gis ne mbooloo xaalis mbooloo am na ni ko defal si.
Now, do we know the entire victims of this flood?
nee na mbaa mun nañu am ñi nga mun nañu xam ñoo xam ne ñoo bokk si mbir mi ñoo entire victims of the flood.
How ma ndax Fatou Mbengue mu ngi amee kayit or not, but this was very transparent.
I don't
Because
know.
NDMA am nañ the how to call it am nañ list bi. Banjul City Council was having the list. And I think even Red Cross might even have the list because ñoom ñoo doon def need assessment bi.
I think Fatou Mbengue may have the records or the list because this was very transparent. All these records of, if it in BCC, we have the list.
And
the Red Cross too, they have the list of those victims.
And again, leena dama ko bëgg a wax.
And I want to add something to it.
Fatou Mbengue defu dara, Fatou Mbengue was just a messenger.
Fatou Mbengue did nothing because she was just a messenger.
Man maa ko binda.
I was the person who sent or advised him to do that.
Maa ko binda.
I wrote it.
Mu binda CEO bi.
She wrote it. So I wrote to the CEO.
Ñu jox ko xaalis bi.
And the money was given to her.
Mu implement process bi.
And implemented the process.
So she followed your instructions.
Then a mom kon nga gis ne sa instructions bi la topp la.
Ak bu CEO bi.
And that of the CEO.
Because the process of naka la ñoo defee xaalis bi.
Because the process of how we are going to spend the money.
How naka lañ ko implementé.
How are we going to implement?
Loolu is not my mandate.
That is not my mandate.
Man li ma mun mooy.
All I know, or what I think was
li ma General Council Center.
what the General Council advised me to do.
Man loolu laa def.
That is what I did.
Was there a committee?
Why to sum it up?
Was there a committee for
I'm the
this?
committee.
400,000. Was there a committee to decide who receives what, whether it's $1
No.
or $2?
nee na ndax ci 400,000 bi dafa am committee bi nga xam ne ñoo war a taxaw pour xam kii ñaata lañ ko war a jokkale ñaata la war a am.
Waaye foog naa wax naa ne there was an assessment bu ñu def ba pare.
I said that I think I have told that there was an assessment before the payment.
li ñu drive up to 400,000 bi.
What drive us for the amount of 400,000?
dafa war a nekk di assessment bi nga xam ne moom lañ amee. moom lañ am.
It's to the assessment that we had.
You can produce the assessment.
Nee na léegi pour nga def sa kattan ngay si assessment.
xëy na mu laaj ko di CEO.
I think if the CEO is asked about it.
Because man amuma ko.
Because I don't have it.
No, the CEO did not say there's an assessment.
CEO waxut ne dafa am assessment bu am.
That is why it will be difficult for me to ask the CEO.
ne moo tax moom kon dana na xare pour moom mu laajte CEO.
waaye léegi su ma demee dinaa ko laajte di CEO bi fa nekk because dina fa war a nekk moom.
I think if I go back I will ask the CEO presently there.
Fatou Mbengue was also paid $30,000 for disbursement of media coverage for the 4th town hall meeting on Saturday 19th of March 2022.
nee na Fatou Mbengue tamit joxe nañ ko lu dem ba $30,000 yi nga xam ne loolu pour yóbbu ko si liggéey bi lu ñëw waa media coverage bi.
It was paid to her.
nee na fay nañ ko si loxo si moom lañ ko fay.
Under your instructions.
nee na te loolu yow boobu tamit sa kaddu la.
It's also wrong.
nee na loolu tamit nekk na loo xam ne warut.
waaye lead council foog naa dafa ma dégluwul bu baax li ma la wax de.
Council, I think you don't hear me very well as what I have said.
man dama la ko nangul ma ne la.
I agree to you that.
I totally agree.
I totally agree.
ne la process bi was wrong.
The process was totally wrong.
bu tey nekkoon démba.
If at all today will be like yesterday,
duñ ko defee noonu.
we will not do it like that.
And I think that the office of the mayor should be guided.
And I think the office of the mayor should be guided.
man li ma mun rek mooy request laa def.
All I do request.
lii lañ bugga.
We need this.
Why it's not for me to say that nii lañ ko war a defee.
But it's not for me to decide how it is to be done.
waaye Fatou si suma ron la nekk.
But Fatou was under me.
su fekkee ne Fatou dafa defoon mistake sax.
If at all Fatou did a mistake, even
man dama war a honorable pour jël loolu.
I need to be honorable to take over that.
so lu ma wax commission bi mooy ne.
So what I want to inform the commission is that
loolu xew na.
that had happened.
su nekkoon tey.
If at all it is today,
neneen lañ ko defee.
it will be done this way.
Again, I understand. Again, I commend you for your cooperation. Because it is individual cases. I have to take it one. Because that's the procedure. Because the payment for media coverage is different from the payment of, let's say, monies for flood victims.
Nena society has become a fair flood victims has become a fair media coverage.
I still know it's a general. It can be general.
Nena hamna na low rate nega general.
To the fact that the process was wrong. But let's just still exhaust some few of these vouchers. Do you understand? Now the media coverage, for instance. If Fatou Mega requests for the amount on your behalf, and the payment is made to Tourist Media Consultancy. The question is, how did you contract Tourist Media Consultancy?
I think I have told you at the beginning that the way we were going was like this is what they always do. This is what council normally do. This is how they do. We don't have any process that we follow. We will see and check if we need GRPS in our program. We call them.
You said Fatu Network lañ soxla.
If we need Fatu Network,
you call Fatu Network.
We call Fatu Network.
Noonu rek la woon.
That was how we were.
But why is that?
Nee na lu tax loolu.
Foog naa wax naa ko ma waxaat ko.
I think I have said that and I will repeat it.
And especially when it comes to media.
Nee na especially when it comes to media.
Leneen musuta ñëw si suñu xel mi.
No, nothing have came to our mind. To see that, let us check where we can have more visibility. And even today, I'm talking to you. That is how we normally do it till now. Whenever we have coverage, we just call.
Is it that you do not know the procedures involved?
Or that
it was just simply disregarded?
Lead counsel.
Lead counsel. I think I said that and I will say it again. All what I can say is that I know what I wanted. We have a program. And I advise them, or I say to them that call NBC for them to come. Or call the media to come.
But the process of media.
But the process of calling the media, to truly speaking,
because I
know some of there are people who used to pay and that is their work.
Lord Mayor, this is difficult
on
my part
to
understand. The reason is, and that's what I want to understand. Because, for instance, where there's a law that says payment should be made in this format, and it is done quite the opposite. Now we must ask the obvious question: whether we knew that the law existed, or whether there was no knowledge of the existence of the law.
xamuloo wala amuloo xam-xam ne am na loi ba nga xam ne dañ ko tëral.
Because the two are different.
because ñaari yi bokkuñ.
Because if you knew that there is a law,
nee na soo ko yëgee wala nga yëg ne am na lu ñu tëral loi bu ñu tëral pour loolu.
then it may suggest that the action is deliberate.
nee na booba nit lu war a gis mooy kon li ngeen def da ngeen ko tey.
Know that there is a law governing
bu
that.
fekkee ne xamuleen ne am na loi bu fa nekk.
It may be that was done by mistake.
nee na kon nit mun na wane loolu def ngeen ko waaye juum ngeen.
That is why I'm having this discussion.
nee na lii moo tax bu ngay waxtaan ak yow.
The same goes with the subsequent mayors that will come and the CEOs. Mr. Bachir is outside.
nee na soo ko seetee yëpp ak na soo ko seet si CEO bi Mr. Bachir mu ngi si biti.
The other mayors, the CEOs, it's all the same law that's governing.
nee na mayor yi ak CEO yi yëpp benn loi moo leen govern.
That's why I asked, and I asked again, was it done with full knowledge of a law governing the payment structure, or was it done in ignorance of the law governing the payment structure?
nee na lii moo tax mu ngi bëgg a pour nga leeral ko foofu ndax def ngeen ko ci kaw xamuleen ne dafa am loi bu tëral pour loolu wala xam ngeen ko yéen a faaloo leen loi bi.
waaye lii kan su wax naa leen ne the process.
I think I told you the
how
process
those money were implemented naka lañ ko defee.
of those monies were implemented. How did we do it?
boobu du suma cër man pour ma wax the process naka la war a demee.
That is not my side for me to tell them how the process should go.
waaye I'm honest enough pour wax la ne.
But I'll be honest enough to tell you that
soo ñëwee si affaire media bi.
if you come to the media,
boobu de wax na suma diggante yàlla laa la wax de.
I'm telling you between myself and God.
ba tey ëllëg suñu amee programme.
Today, tomorrow, if we have program,
dañuy call media bi ne leen kaay leen.
we used to call the media to say come.
so boobu process bi nag.
That process,
boobu xëy na tamit soo ma ko mënee jàngal fii.
if at all, I'll be teach from.
I can promise you ne ëllëg gannaaw ëllëg suñu amatee programme.
That knowledge, I promise you, tomorrow when you have a program,
neneen lañ koo defee.
that is the way we'll do it.
Because if you write requesting for money,
Nena so bindi request pour xaalis.
it's different from writing requesting for a service.
Nena loolu bokkut pour nga bind wala nga request pour service.
For instance, if you write to say that we need media coverage,
Nena so bindee nga ne bëgg nañ media coverage.
and CEO should facilitate.
Nena te CEO moo war a doxal loolu.
That's different from saying we need $40,000 for media.
Nena loolu àndut wala bokkut ak pour nga bind nga ne bëgg nañ xaalis bu dem ba $400,000.
The difference here is
Nena difference bi mooy.
you are now doing the procurement
Nena léegi yow li nga nekk di def mooy procurement.
when there is already a procurement unit.
te loolu tax na fekk na yaa ngi am procurement unit.
There's a contracts committee.
nee na mooy contracts committee.
Not Nena Moy. There's also a contracts committee.
nee na am na tamit contract committee.
And there are procurement regulations
am na procurement regulation.
and procurement act.
Procurement act.
Which requires that procurement activities must be done in a certain way.
nga xam ne procurement act li ngeen ko war a def dafa am yoon boppam.
So that's why I asked that question.
nee na lii moo tax nag laa laajte.
so again yaa ngi wax ne comme man su ma nee CEO facilitate.
I think what you are saying that if I say the CEO to facilitate.
boobu nga wax ne ñu ngi bypass the procurement law.
And that is where you are saying that we have bypassed the law.
No.
mu ne déedéet.
To request for payment
nee na pour request pour laajte affaire yi fay bi.
is not unlawful.
nee na loolu nekkoon loo xam ne àndut ak loi bi.
But to be given monies that are meant to follow another process for procurement process.
nee na waaye joxe xaalis bi nga xam ne boobu dafa war a jaar si procurement
For
process.
you to do your own procurement
pour yow nga def sa own procurement.
would be wrong.
nee na loolu àndut.
That's totally wrong.
nee na loolu moom dafa àndut ak loi.
So my question is, did you know this before or you did not know?
nee na laajte bi mooy yëg nga loi bi wala yëguloo ko.
waaye foog naa lead counsel wax naa la ko waxaat na ma ne la the process is not for me to do.
I think I have cleared that out.
No, the question is whether you knew that there is a procurement process to be followed or you did not know that there is a procurement process to be followed.
nee na léegi pour gàttal wax bi lu mooy laajte mooy ndax yow yëg nga ne dafa am loi bi nga xam ne wala procurement bi nga xam ne da nga ko war a toppa wala yëguloo ko. ne am na.
how ma ne procurement dañ ko dee war a follow si lu nekk for example like the media for example.
I don't know that we should follow the procurement even for media.
Why would they be different?
I don't know. Ni lañ ko fa fekkee rek. So to be quite honest, loolu moom maa ngi ko doon a dégg tey fii wax naa la ne démba sax barka démba bi ñu amee programme we just call the media ñu ñëw.
As I said earlier on, we just inherited it like that, but I don't have an idea at all. And I said, even the day before yesterday, we got a program, and the same way we did.
Should it not be the case that the General Council, everybody involved, the mayors, the mayor, the chairperson, the General Council, the councillors, everyone present, the clerk, that they, as the supervisory body of council's administration,
Nena ba wata neka di ñoo xamne council bi nga xamne ñepp yeen ñoo bokk ci council dañu wara neka ñoo xamne dañu wara laajte
that the General Council as the supervisory body of council
nena general ñoo neka supervisory body ci council
should be very familiar with all the laws regulating
nena dañu wara neka wala dañu wara neka ñoo xamne loi bi yépp lu mëna duñ térélé dañ ko wara xam té dañ ko wara top.
So that when the CEO goes left,
nena boba CEO su démé yo bi nga xamné andu tak yoon
they will know.
nena dañ ko yegg
When things are on the right,
nena su démé su démé lu mu waré
they will know.
dañ ko dañ ko xam.
Is that not supposed to be the case?
nena xana warta neka non.
Under normal circumstances noonu la war a demee.
Yes, that's exactly how it should.
Then why? Please proceed.
waaye foog naa wax naa la ne.
But I think I have told you that.
li ñu wax rek lañ mën a xam.
Whatever we are informed, that is what we know.
Council is structured like that.
Council is structured like that.
But the laws are there.
Nena waaye am na fa ay loi.
waa dafa am luwaa buñ bind si book.
Yes, there is a law written on
ak luwaa boo xam ne ñeneen ñoo ko implement.
and there is a law that is
xam
implemented
nga
by others.
Don't you understand the book?
lead council.
Yes.
It's difficult pour nga fight yëpp nag.
It is very difficult to carry all the fights.
and it's very very difficult pour nga waxtaan ak koo xam ne togg ci suma position.
And it will be very difficult to talk to somebody who have never sit on
ni ñëw waxtaanee man maa yow.
all what we are discussing myself and
yow yaa ngi maa waxal lu luwaa wax.
you are telling me about the law.
man maa ngi laa waxal the traditional way of governing council.
I'm telling you the traditional way of governing council.
su fekkoon ne luwaa rek la ñoo toppa.
If at all we are following only the law,
doole bu mag la mayor si di am.
then that is, I'll have a big
a
powers.
typical example mooy.
For instance, a typical example is that
nga binda to the ministry.
if you write to the ministry
ne ko dama gis loo xam ne dafa dem wrong in council.
and claim that you have seen something that went wrong in council,
I want to make restructuring.
and I went to make restructuring,
mu bindaat na baak.
and they wrote you back,
wala ne la hello.
you know, like, hello,
bul ma bindaat.
don't write to me
su
again.
binda amee.
If you want to write,
CEO bi moom war a
it's
binda.
the CEO who's supposed to.
xam nga loolu how embarrassing is that number one.
No, that is an embarrassment.
number two loolu lan la woon CEO bi.
Number two, what does that show to the CEO?
ne bul déglu kii du dara.
Which means now they are telling him not to listen to the mayor.
and
who sees
some of the
nothing.
evidences are here. last time moom laa bëgg a tender.
I have many evidences of last year. That was my intention to tell them.
yow you might not understand.
You might not understand
naka la suñ doole yi naka la wikee.
how weak our powers are.
am na koo xam ne mu ngi toog si xëj na Fajikunda.
I think somebody, for instance, somebody is sitting at Fajikunda.
kooku di këram rek la toog.
He's sitting in his compound.
kooku doole bu mu am si council bi.
The powers he has from council.
yow amuloo ko yow mi mayor bi amuloo ko.
You mayor, you don't have it.
Yes. That's why I said this has to do with the financial autonomy of council. You guys should wait until I give the instructions. When I give the instructions to receive the document, then we can receive it.
Very well.
So that we wouldn't interrupt the proceedings.
Feel free. Very well.
Now you said you have some documents.
Dina wax nga ne am na ay kayit yi nga amee.
We can pause the topic since the register is there with you to see the documents you have. Are they relevant right now, or do you want to?
no as we go.
As we go.
ma wan la yenn yoo xam ne for example.
Yes, as we go, I can show you some of them as an example.
from say ministry bi.
From the ministry.
Okay. Very well. Then whenever we discuss a topic and you have an example that you want to show or a difficulty that you have encountered, the Commission will be very pleased to receive communications because again, like we stated, Lord Mayoress, the problem is not only with you as the political heads.
Political heads.
Or with the council itself. Or with the CEO and the staff. But every stakeholder in the administration of the local government area councils will be looked into. The role of audit. GPPA were here. Local government ministry, in fact, we started with them.
Local government ministries,
both the commissioners and the councils pointed out some of the things that we think were irregular on their side.
Council the commission just to become
so that everybody will have the fair share of the cake. Now back to the issue. This is in relation to your daily expenses. Where ministry doesn't have a say. That's what we are discussing now. The payment of the payments made to, for example, media for media coverage. Example, these things have nothing to do with ministry of communication, correct?
Yes.
Exactly. That's what we are discussing now. We will definitely also entertain and discuss your relationship with the ministry and the Local Government Service Commission.
Ministry of.
We will discuss your relationship with the Ministry of Local Government.
Ministry of Local Government.
We will also discuss matters in relation to devolution of power as well. To see the need to enhance control in certain areas. So we'll get to all of those things. In the event you also think some things of importance, don't hesitate to bring it to the attention of the chairperson. If you are given latitude, you can address on those issues. Now, please proceed.
I think is relevant.
I had a letter of which I think is relevant.
To the discussion.
To the discussions before we go past.
Should I read it?
Please let me have it so that we admit it and then you can seek permission to read it. We apply to tender a letter from the mayoress. The letter is from the Ministry of Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs, Quadrangle, Banjul, 10th of August 2020, addressed to the Office of the Lord Mayor, Banjul City Council, Independence Drive, Banjul, with the subject restructuring of council personnel, signed by Ma Mudu Bah for the permanent secretary to be admitted to evidence and marked as an exhibit. We also have A letter from the Minister of Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs to all addressees, 12 March 2020, says reappointments, dismissals, discipline, and promotion of state of area councils. To be admitted together with the other document and marked as exhibit.
A letter dated the 12th of March 2020, the letter emanated from the Ministry for Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs, the Quadrangle. It has reference LMS 35/131/01 in brackets 89. It has the subject reappointments, dismissals, discipline, and promotion of staff of area councils. This letter is signed by Fatou Jiba for Permanent Secretary. It is addressed to all the councils and the directors of finance and chairpersons and mayors of the various councils. And it is photocopied to the council, to the chairman of the Local Government Service Commission and chairman of Select Committee of the National Assembly on Lands, IEC, and Ombudsman. The second letter is dated the 10th of August 2020. It also emanated from the Ministry for Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs, the Quadrangle, and it has reference LM 35/131/01 in brackets 213. It is addressed to the Office of the Mayor, Banjul City Council, Independence Drive, and it has the subject restructuring of council personnel. It is signed by Mahmoud Ba for Permanent Secretary. These two documents are admitted together as exhibit in evidence, and they are marked as LGC/BCC/RL/002.
As the Commission places, do you want to talk about it? It's about discipline and dismissal, but then if you want to relate it to this issue, you may.
Su fekkee ne am na li nga bëgg a wax si biir péro yi te na boobu lu ñu fa woon mooy discipline waaye su fekkee ne am nga li nga fa war a wax.
We will still come back to the issue of matters of employment, discipline, and all that. But if you want to talk about it, discuss this issue, we can go ahead.
Nañ ñëwaat si affaire yi employment ak discipline nee na waaye su fekkee ne am nga li nga bëgg a wax si moom si kawam nee na moom nañ continuer. Yes.
So gisee ma indi ko.
The reason why I brought it.
Because we are talking about administration.
Because the administration that we are discussing all about.
And this is why I wanted to read the letter.
Yes.
And this is my reasons why I wanted to read this said letter.
And want to underline something there.
And there I want to underline something.
Where the ministry stated clearly.
Where the ministry has stated clearly.
Because Society of Human Office of the Mayor, Banjul City Council, Independence Drive, restructuring of council personnel. I acknowledge receipt of your letter dated 27 July 2020 in relation to the above captioned subject. The restructuring of council personnel is purely administrative. Therefore, on behalf of the Permanent Secretary, I write to inform you that such letters should be written by the CEO for necessary action. I look forward for your usual understanding and cooperation. So if the mayor wrote to the ministry, di leen wax ne A, B, and C.
If the mayor wrote to the ministry to say A, B, C.
Lead council, nga ne man may the head of that administration.
And you said I am the head of that administration.
Nga bind ma lu mel nii.
And you wrote something like this to me.
Di ma wax ne ma.
Telling me that.
The letter is just like, this is not your business, mind your business.
Showing me that, simply say that this is not your business.
And then
these
letters
are
public documents.
And these are public documents.
Lii dafa jógee ministry.
This will come from ministry.
Mu dem records.
Go to records.
Dem si loxo CEO bi.
Go to the CEO.
Dem si loxo ñeneen.
Go to others.
Exit to suma office.
Come to my office.
So the attitude dafa start.
And the attitude
ku nekk woon na ne
start.
dañ laa reetaan sax
People will laugh at you.
danga leen di bëgg a discipline sax ñu ne la ma ne kii dafa am doole boobu bu mu ñu sonal
You want to discipline them, they will say, no,
Lord,
you don't have power, don't disturb us.
dama ko dégg ba sona
I had that long time, until
and
I'm tired.
a typical evidence of that moo nekk nii
And this is a typical example.
and this was 2020
And this is 2020.
emuñ ci loolu
They don't stop from
ñu
there.
bindaat ko very clearly
And they wrote it very clearly.
wan la ne mënuloo discipline benn staff
Indicate to you that you cannot discipline any staff.
that is totally mind your business
That is to indicate you need to mind your own business.
am naa fi another memo
I have another memo here.
and this moo laa wan ne la
And this will be showing you
lu bari mu ngi xew su fekkee ne amuñ ko from outside
something is happening if at all we don't get it from outside.
like from auditors yi
Like from auditors,
from national audit for example
from national audit,
from the office of the ombudsman
the office of the ombudsman,
from minister of finance
minister of finance.
di nga toog si office boobu doo ko mus a xam
You will stay in the office and you will never know that.
I wrote a memo to the CEO
I wrote a memo to the CEO.
and this has to do with a witness who talk fii
And this has to do with a witness who seated here before.
and I want to tender this pour nga xam ndax kooku
And I want to tell her this so that you can know that
affaire ama CEO su nekkutoon office of the ombudsman
that person with the CEO, if at all it is not the office of the ombudsman,
du ma si doon xam dara
I will not know anything.
Very well. Now we will.
so lii laa bëgg a tender bii tam
So this is another document that
because lii mooy wane ne
this will show
su doon lettre bu jógutoon si office of the ombudsman ñu indi ko ci man
if at all this letter does not come from the office of the ombudsman to me,
du ma yëg sax ne buro xarab boobu mu ngi doon dox
I will never know that this thing is going on.
but again as I said
But again, as I said,
soo nekkee si kanam
if you are a leader,
danga accept lu ñëw
you will accept.
Well, I will apply to
Whatever
have
comes
this
to you.
admitted. We will treat this matter under the issues regarding employment and disciplinary powers of both the ministry, the commission, the service commission, and the area council. And I will also respond to your comments before we go back to the issue of the finance. We applied to tender a letter from Lord Mayor's office to the Chief Executive Officer, 14th of April 2021, with the subject re-identified complaint of maladministration against the Banjul City Council, signed by Her Worship Lord Mayor Rohey Malick Lowe, to be admitted into evidence and marked as an exhibit.
Chairperson, with your permission, dama bëgg a read letter bi lifin bi memo bii nii.
With your
Yes,
permission.
let me admit the letter as an exhibit. Then we will give you. A memo dated the 14th of April 2021. It is coming from the Lord Mayor's office. It is addressed to the Chief Executive Officer, and it has the subject, Idenjai complained of maladministration against the Banjul City Council. And the letter is signed by Her Worship Lord Mayor Rohey Malick Lowe, and it is copied to the Ombudsman, Local Government Service Commission, and a file copy is maintained. This memo is admitted in evidence as an exhibit, and it is marked as LGC/BCC/RL/003. May I suggest that you are dealing to tidy up the evidence, to proceed with the finances, and we will return this to her after admitting it, for her to read it out, since she is requesting to read it. But when we are dealing with issues of governance, that is employment, etc.
Absolutely.
Then we deal with this issue.
Yes, we
So
agree.
we will give you the opportunity to read this. Whilst we tidy up the evidence, because she was dealing with the issues of the finance, we continue that. When we come to issues of discipline and your interactions with the ministry and the problem of having to discipline the staff, we will talk on that extensively, and you will have to deal with all of these issues to give us a proper insight. All right?
Thank you very much, Honorable. Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. So for all this, they are already admitted into evidence. Just as the chairperson has already stated, we will deal with these matters at a topic of its own, as a topic of its own, extensively. And again, for all other things that are related to this, or your administrative powers, or your problems with the ministry, or any other body, you always have the freedom to raise it at the right time. Okay?
Wow, Chairperson, letter memo B, to the CEO.
This memo to the CEO.
Tender work because of discipline there.
I don't
tender pour paint a picture pour the lead council to understand I'm not things you don't have your hand.
My reasons of tendering this is not to show the commission about this. All I want to do is for council to be aware of what I'm saying, that something have transferred. When I was aware,
the letter from the ombudsman.
this was the time when I got this letter from the ombudsman.
Why the individual concern?
But individual concern,
Mom had all the time give from the mayor
because he is aware of all this at all the time.
So picture buma try to paint.
But the picture that I'm trying to paint here, to indicate to council that whatever is happening in council doesn't mean that mayor is aware of it.
Madam Mayor, we very much appreciate the insight you are giving us as to some of the issues, because I recall listening to you earlier on before we went for our recess, as to you stating that some of the issues you had were very surprising to you when people give evidence before this commission. And we do understand, and we know that there is that possibility, because we have seen facts to that effect. So we will give you the opportunity to relate all of this as we proceed in your testimony. All right? Thank you.
Very well.